Hey group, this is how to saddle a horse for the Buffalo Trail Scout Ranch Horseback Trek Program. Before we get to our saddle, we're going to go ahead and brush and curry comb our mount. Now we brush down our horses twice a day. Once in the morning before we saddle up, and once in the evening after we've taken the saddles off. We're going to brush all the areas where the saddle's going to come in contact with the horse's hide. It's all down the back. Curry comb brush, curry comb brush. We'll also, while we're here, look for any kind of sores, rubs, bite marks, any kind of injuries. It's a good time to look for those. We need to brush down here along the girth. This is where the cinch strap comes up underneath the horse and keeps that saddle attached. So I'm just going to use the brush down here on this side because this is one of those areas where horses have a tendency to get a rub or a gall. I'm going to get that soft brush down there, make sure that there's nothing under there that's going to cause any kind of discomfort or a sore. Run your hand along the side just to double check. Get it all cleaned up. Now once you've got this first side all cleaned up, you're going to head around to the other side of the horse and do the same. Good to go. Now, one of the most important rules we have here around the horses is that we never set anything down near them. So when you're done with your brush and your curry comb, hand them off to somebody that might need them or put them back in their designated basket. Now, on to saddling. Now, first things first, we have our saddle pad, and we typically ride it with a single pad. If your horse requires two, your wrangler will inform you. And before this goes on a horse, we need to go ahead and run our hands down this pad to make sure that we don't have any kinds of sticks or thorns, anything that's going to cause that horse discomfort or wear a hole in them over the course of the day. Now once you've made sure that your pad is good and clean, go ahead and pick it up and fold it over. My left hand is going to hold on to this small piece of leather that goes up on the neck. My right hand back here at the end of the crease is going to go on the back or the butt of the horse. We always saddle from the left side of the horse. So I'll pick that pad up, set it straight down. My left hand here with that leather goes right down on the mane. My right hand where the crease is comes down on top of the backbone of the horse. If that horse has his hip cocked, it might look like the pad to its side, but as long as that crease lines up with the bone of the horse, you're good to go. Now lining these pads up, side to side, we're good to go. From front to back, that's where it gets a little interesting. Now lining this pad up from front to back is extremely important. What I'm going to do is kind of draw a line with my hand all the way down that shoulder. You can kind of see a point or a line all the way down through the leg, and that's where I want to put my pad. So I'll bring it up, I'll slide it back just a little bit, and that's where my pad needs to be. It needs to go straight down that shoulder. Now, if your horse is a little bit different, maybe a little shorter, something needs to happen. Your wrangler might tell you to saddle him back an extra inch. That might happen, but standard down here, especially coming out of the corrals to go up the mountain, right down the shoulder. Double check both sides. Make sure you're good to go. All right. Straight down the shoulder, lined up. We're ready for the saddle. Now we want to encourage y'all to help each other out when you're saddling. As soon as that pad gets on top of the horse, a saddle should be coming towards them. It's not good for that pad to be sitting up there for extended periods of time. I'm going to clear everything off of the right side of the saddle so that when I put it up on top, nothing gets folded up underneath. Pick it up, walk it up. Make sure that you're not dragging anything on the ground as you bring your saddle over. We'll lift it up and set it down on top of that horse. Notice I didn't push it on there and try and roll it over. That readjusts your pad. Pick it up, set it straight down. Now before we start messing with cinches, stirrups, and all the other straps, we need to again make sure that everything is straight and balanced on the saddle. So even that little bit of movement, notice our pad is kind of slipped back here. I'm gonna grab both sides, pull it up just a little bit, so it bisects all the way down that shoulder. I also want to have about 3 to 4 fingers of pad from the front here back here to the saddle. So notice I'm about a finger or two off. The way that I'm going to fix this is to grab the horn with my right hand, pad with the left. I'm going to pick up the saddle and walk it forward just a bit until I've got that 3 to 4 fingers of pad showing in the very front. Now if I need to move my saddle back, if it's too far forward, what I'll do is grab the pad with my right hand, saddle with my left, I'll pull with my right and push with my left, just like that. All right, walk it back up, check for 3 fingers, should be good. But come around the horse, and I want to check once more. Make sure I have the same symmetry here. So 3 fingers down the shoulder, everything's good. I also want to pull a few things down and make sure they're straight. So stirrup, this is the cinch, and the flank strap. These 3 things are going to hang down. You're going to make sure that they're not twisted up all the way down. You have a keeper right here. Cinch is hanging down. Everything's good to go there. And your stirrup in the middle. Your breast collar strap, that'll be the last thing that we buckle up. That needs to remain on top of the saddle. It just so happens to be the right length where, if the horse was to step through it, they possibly could. I come around to the left side of your horse, go attach straps, and tighten them up. I'm gonna put my stirrup up over the seat, give you all the room here, make sure everything's clear to go. First strap we're going to attach and tighten up is going to be the latigo to the cinch. Grab this, go ahead and take the end of the latigo, I'm going to reach down and get my cloth cinch and put my latigo down through the cinch buckle. Depending on a few variables, such as the length of this latigo and the girth of your horse, you might have to wrap the strap around the D-rings several times. So down through the D-ring, down through the cinch, and we're going to repeat until we run out of latigo. Again, I'm not going to tighten this up until I put as many wraps in it as I can. Now I'm just about out of latigo strap here. I'm going to put it through once more, where it goes down through the cinch buckle here, and we're beginning to tighten it up. Now there's several different schools of thought as to how you tighten these things. I typically pull back and cinch down until I get what's called 3 fingers tight. So enough to get 3 fingers snug inside and behind that cinch. I'm going to pull just a little bit more until I get an available hole right here, a hole in the latigo, and I'll take this tang, this metal bar, and I'll put it through that hole, just like so. Now we're going to leave this cinch just like this for a little while. This is what we call first tightening. This indicates that this cinch is not done. We haven't locked it off or done anything with it. The horses usually blow out, which means they suck a bunch of air up. In about 10, 15, 20 minutes, this cinch should be loose. We'll do a second tightening. I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Back here, next strap is going to be the flank strap. This leather buckle back here comes up, and it does not need to be tight. I snug it up against the belly just a little bit, buckle that, and have enough room to slide your hand in here. You don't need much more than that. We also have a keeper between this flank strap and the cinch. This is to make sure that this flank strap doesn't come back and bang on the knees. This is only here so that your saddle doesn't flip you out and over it when we're going down a mountain. The last strap that we need to attach for saddling is the breast collar. So I'm going to grab it from the front of the horse, making sure that the strap is not twisted around, and I'm going to bring it up on top of the chest. Make sure that that strap isn't up underneath the chest here, but up over the shoulders. Notice that this tug right here, this strap, is all buckled. I'll take this loose. The opening of the strap here is going to go up through the D-ring. Feed that through, come back towards the buckle. You'll notice there's not a whole lot here. I'm going to reach around to the front of this breast collar, bring it back over the shoulders. Get that strap to the buckle, and notice how much just became available. Put that through, buckle it to the keeper, held, and I want to make sure that my breast collar is where it needs to be. So I've got a metal ring here, and it's centered right down the throat, up above the chest. So I've got my breast collar straps on both sides above the shoulders. If I push down, there's not enough room for them to go underneath the chest here, but there's enough room for me to put my hands back. It doesn't need to be tight. This is meant to make sure that the saddle doesn't slide backwards if something goes wrong with the saddle when we're going uphill. Breast collar strap's on, flank strap's good to go. It's time to do our second tightening on our cinch. So in order to get the tang, this metal bar, out through the hole, pull up, push the tang down just like that. Notice it's a little looser. Tighten it up a bit. Got 2 holes that time. Putting the tang right through the hole back on the latigo once more. And in order to get this tang to lock up and tighten on this thing, to secure this buckle here, I'm gonna grab this strap right here between the D-ring and the cinch buckle. And I'll pull back on it, and that'll lock this metal tang, just like that. Pulling back completely locks it. Now a lot of riders will then take their latigo, bring it up here. If your saddle has a latigo holder, it'll go down through the latigo holder and just ride just like that. Notice I didn't pull down on it, pull around. It just holds it, it puts it in place. Now some saddles don't have a latigo holder, and if that's the case, you can simply take the latigo, go down through the D-ring here on the side, and use the D-ring here as a latigo holder, just like this. A lot of other folks will take an extra step. Go ahead and put that latigo through the D-ring and take it off to the left. Cinch it up, take the latigo over the side and up through the D-ring, and then go back down through the strap here. And this is called teeing off. This is a positive strap. This thing isn't coming undone. A lot of folks will use this. Your wrangler will outline exactly what they want you to do. At this point, your horse is saddled. Go ahead and take the stirrup down. Before you ride, you need to check your cinch once more. Flank strap, breast collar, make sure everything is straight. Your saddlebags will be here. Make sure you have your water bottles filled up, your bedroll on tight, your feed bag hanging off the right here of the saddle horn, and your bridle and reins attached to the horse. Other than that, guys, have a good ride. Hope to see you out on the trail. And as always, until next time. One more time, just in case you missed something. make sure you all watch the rest of the instructional videos. Tighten up that cinch a second time, and we'll see you when you get here.